to political predictions. As you can tell by the title, this video is going to be about Joe Biden and his approval rating, and really all of the other presidents' approval ratings. But as you can see here today, Joe Biden reached his lowest approval rating in his entire history as president, 19.4%, a net negative of 19.4%, which is insane. He just hit 57%, which is the highest we've seen him go. His previous highest was around here when the gas prices were really bad, when the Taliban was in Afghanistan. It's still in Afghanistan, but when it was fresh in everyone's mind. And that was only got to 18%. So 19.4% is pretty bad for President Biden here. And this comes after a lot of these polls show him in the net negative of 20%. But if you factor in all the other polls, it averages out to 19.4%. And this is worse than former President Donald Trump's favorability polls. This goes ever since Joe Biden became president. So as you can see right here, this was right after January 6th. His approval rating was pretty bad, about as bad as Biden's is right now. But then it got slowly better and better. And it kind of stayed there pretty much the whole time. And now it's hovering at 12%. So Donald Trump's favorability rating is a net negative 12% compared to Joe Biden's 19.4%. And Joe Biden's has only been getting worse ever since the whole Israel and Palestine thing happened in October, which was right here. So as you can see, it was 13%, then a huge drop-off. And I think that this is only going to continue to decline. And the reason I say this is because of the Israel and Palestine conflict that is going on in the Middle East. And this is because most of the people that do support Palestine are on the left. They are Democrats. There's not all of them, just most of them. And since Joe Biden is a Democrat and also he has supported Israel, I think that the people who do support Palestine are going to start to turn away from him and start to look at other options or just not vote in the election. So this explains why his approval rating has just slowly dipped and dipped and dipped and dipped. As you can see, it kind of looks like an alligator, just a mouth going wider and wider and wider. And I don't think this is going to get much better for the election. But I don't think that it is over for Joe Biden, and this is just because of how polarized of a nation we are. As you can see here, in 2020, 2016, we've seen pretty much the same map for quite a few elections here, really ever since 2008. This map looks pretty familiar. It is, although it's not that likely, it is possible that we see a 2008 election map in 2024, although Iowa and Ohio will be pretty, and Maine 2nd Congressional District will be pretty hard to flip. But as you can see here, it's just it's a very similar electorate. All of the red wall here in the middle of the country has stayed completely intact, never flipping blue, and it hasn't flipped blue in decades, since the 90s. The blue wall, other than Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, of course, have stayed very much intact for decades now. We're not really seeing much of a shift in these states, other than states like Florida, Ohio, Iowa, and Maine 2nd Congressional District. But as you can see, back here, the entire South was blue. In 1972, look at this. 521 to 17. We would never see something like this. We would never see California go red. We would never see Hawaii go red. We'd never see Maryland go red by 24%. That's insane. And just the next election, we see everyone go blue. It's a very close election, but still the Democrats win. Arkansas goes from 38% to the Republican side to 30% on the Democrats. That's a flip of 68%. We'd never see anything like that. A flip of 15% from 2012 to 2016 was considered, let me see here. A flip of 18% from 2012 to 2016 in just one district was considered insane at that time. 68%, no one even batted an eye. It's insane how much, states could flip back then. But now, because of how polarized we are and how much we are divided on party lines, how we're looking at the parties more than just the candidates now in presidential elections, we're seeing it be about the same map every election. And now let's go back to Joe Biden's popularity real quick. We can see that during Donald Trump's presidency here, so this is his approval rating now. This was his approval rating during his presidency. we could see that he hovered around the 40% each time. He hovered consistently around the low 40s up until January 6th happened and his approval rating dropped. And during Joe Biden's best after everything went down, he was in the 40s, like low 40s, 42, 43. So his best is about where Donald Trump was hovering the entire time. And since then, he's just gone down and down and down. And as you can see here, his approval rating and Donald Trump's approval rating are separating more and more. Donald Trump is picking up a lead on him, and this is during his time. So right now, even when Donald Trump was declining here in popularity, he is still 3% ahead of him. And this is because just of how much Joe Biden has dipped down. And I think that Joe Biden's approval rating is worse than any president in recent history right now. We can see that he's 10% behind Obama at this point. He is 10% behind Bush. He is 15% behind Clinton. He is 0.1% ahead of George H.W. Bush at his worst. He is nearly 20 points behind Reagan. So you can just really see just how much behind he is compared to all of these other presidents and how he's down 19.4%. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching my previous few videos. And have a great day. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.